Hey, Kowalsky here. Welcome to another series. This series is gonna be called Grandmaster Birthdays, and I'm gonna take the Grandmasters born each day and really find one of their best games or something like that. And then it's not gonna always be long format video, but this game is just that amazing that it deserves a video. Sometimes it's just gonna be short. Now this Grandmaster that I picked for today, you may agree or may disagree with my picks. You're always free to comment on that, and maybe we're gonna do some honorable mentions. Nino Batsiashvili, she is a Georgian Grandmaster. She got this title in 2018. She's also a four-time Georgian national champion, and also what made me pick her is that she won the gold medal for the second board in the 2022 Olympiad, so this year. But the game that I'm gonna show you is actually a game from 2014, and she's playing with the black pieces, and her opponent is Monika Soko. Now Nino has a good history against Monika Soko, but this is 2014, and it's a Women Europeans Championship, if I didn't mention this. Now this is the two knights defense, the knight attack. So you might think that, oh, this is like a fried liver or something, but this is really simple to stop. Just d5, and obviously Nino knows this. And e takes d5, knight a5. This is a really common line at the top level. People know this, so you're not gonna surprise them with knight takes f7 and bishop b5 check c6, and this has been played a lot. Now black is temporarily down a pawn, but for that pawn black gets some really nice development. I mean, now the tides are turning, so we have just d3, and obviously white also wants just to develop normally. So black gets her knight into the center, and c4. Now bishop takes h3, and we have this trade, because you don't want to take the bishop. This would be pretty bad, as now you have massive holes in the position, and you're gonna have to give up your bishop. And now, I mean, while this might be a draw, it's not a pleasant position for or might be drawable. It's not a pleasant position, and it's not something that you want as white. So white takes obviously on d5, and now continues development, and white is actually doing fine. I mean, white is actually doing almost great, I would say. And here you don't have to be afraid of bishop takes c3 just now, because there's a pressure on this knight. So bishop b6, obviously you want this as black, but you're not gonna get that. So rook to c1, now just lining up some pressure over here. Also knight to e4 now, and now right, you have opened this, you have an attack on the queen goes back to c7, and now bishop f3. So finally all the pieces have come together for white, and white actually has mounted a substantial advantage. Knight back to b7 by Nino, and here we have a really interesting move. This is not the best move actually. Bishop takes on h6. If Monika Soko would have just played something like knight to g3, for example, bishop takes, pawn takes, and now let's just say bishop back to d7, for example, defending. Now, I mean, you would have had, maybe just some slight pressure here. I mean, obviously everything would have been defended, but in a way you would have actually had a more pleasant position that you might have been able to turn it. But it's a lot of ifs, and Monika just decides to go in for the attack, in for the kill. And here actually this is a really unsafe position for black actually, but also for white, because now while black can play this safe like this, knight is just gonna go here, and for example king f8. Now let's say takes. Black can also do it in a way that Nino did it. She played knight to c5, so going for a counter attack. And now if you just normally trade queens, now you're just losing, because at the end of the day you sacrifice your bishop, and if you're not gonna have an attack, then you're just lost. So you cannot go for the trade. And what Monica does right, she goes check, and here she just simply makes a huge mistake. She goes queen a3. Now if she would have just for example slid her queen over to the other side, it would have been much better, because now in the event of this trade, now you actually do have some pressure. For example, knight f6, and you might have some pressure here, or even something like d4, which is also played in the game. So we're gonna go back to just the game now. But here, look, Monica also lost another tempo, and now the material is a rook and 2 bishops for the queen and the 2 pawns. But this is not enough by white. This is not enough, and now we're just gonna witness a really nice and clean conversion. Rook e6, d4, we have a trade, and now just bring in the other rook. You can see how the army of pieces here just controls every single. Look how many squares these pieces are controlling here. Meanwhile, the queen is basically outnumbered, and here, right, if you went a little bit more aggressive, then maybe you could have, oops, what did I just do? Yeah, I pressed something that I shouldn't have pressed. And if you just go back, and then you maybe would have had some chances, but with queen f4, the way that Monica plays this is just lost. And Nino is gonna prove that in a second. Bishop d3 we're gonna have, and now I mean just goes in with the knight, just nice and clean, and just takes the pawn. I mean, there was no way to defend that. If you went back here, I mean, if you went back, obviously this would have been the case, but now it's just like mate. And actually the mate is really nice. It's knight g3 check, f takes, and now just checkmate. So yeah, h3 was played, but now it's just, I mean, you had 2 pawns for everything here. Obviously you don't blunder the rook, and then I mean you try something here, maybe a checkmate, but nothing, because this is just blocked. Also this is defended. Now you try to go back here, but no, the knight comes back again and blocks. And okay, you try rook back, because also the rook was attacked. You see how powerful black's pieces are, and now you see you have this constant pressure on the knight, so the queen cannot move. So when the queen is forced to move, she's forced to move to a square where the queen can defend the knight. And now after the bishop takes, you defend your rook, you come back with your knight, but now you are forced to trade rooks, and now you have less forces for white. And soon after, I mean, obviously you have some maneuvering to do, and here you infiltrate and win the last pawn. And now basically black has +2 in material. You have 2 bishops and a rook for the queen, and that's it. And now, well, we just have a nice trade here, and it's just really easy to win this position. I mean, you just the rook is defended, you make sure you're not gonna get any stupid checks, and now you just lock everything. Here actually rook takes on h4 was possible. I don't know why Nino didn't play this and then just come back, maybe, or maybe just played rook g4. This would have been completely winning as well, but she plays rook g4, which is also fine. And now bishop takes on g3. Obviously if you trade like this now, I mean, you're losing. Look at this. And but you're losing anyways, because bishop takes on h4, and now I mean you're just dead. And Monica really has to come to terms with her defeat, and a couple of moves later, right, you know, just pushes the pawn, and here it's mate in 9. For example, king g1, let's say bishop f3. I mean, you don't really want to play this, right? You don't want to play this. I mean, you're down too much material. So yeah, I mean, Nino identified this right here, this moment, to just give up the queen here really nicely. I mean, because if you go back, for example, queen d8, let's say you're scared, well, you can just really lose the game. I mean, right? Because you don't know, you allow white too many chances. Again, you're pinned here, you have a little bit of trouble here. Maybe you're gonna take a pawn, maybe you're gonna get b3, no queen trade. So yeah, I mean, things could have turned around, and maybe this would have been the best game of Monica Socko had it been this way. But well, only one can win. I mean, players can technically draw, but only one can win. And again, happy birthday to Nino Batsiashvili. See you all in the next one. Kowalsky out.